analyze some random stock data, meaning that we're going to use AI to pick a stock for us. Okay. And I'm also going to bring this forward over here. We're going to take this, shrink it down, bring this up here, so we can see if anybody's dropping by to chat. Come over here like this. What we're going to do, we're going to ask it to pick a random stock from the S&P 500. Then we're going to use R and the Quantmod package to do some analysis. Okay, that's too easy. Let's say a random S&P 500 stock that has a value at the closing price of greater than $49. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask AI, okay, to pick a random stock from the S&P 500 as a stock price of greater than $49. That so again, and this is all we're using AI for, okay? We're just asking it to pick a random stock. Yes, I did. I'll fetch you this of S&P 500 tickers. Randomness and Broadcom. Well, this is interesting. So it actually can give us some stock buy. Very good. Okay, good. So we'll come up here. We're going to say Broadcom is our stock. Is our random stock. Okay. And that's it. So next we'll come down here. Data. And I believe it's get Get defaults, get financials, get model, get price. That's interesting. Get symbols, load and manage data from multiple sources. So is this all we need? Let's go ahead and save this. Okay. Stock symbol. Now there should be a way to specify the start and end date. So there it is. There should be a way to specify a date. So this is all we care about there. And we're interested in okay, it has to be enclosed in quotes. It shows single quotes. And there's our stock. So can we say, I don't see it here, but we should be able to say start. Let's try start. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, it didn't actually work, did it? Let's change this to from. Now it says on 2025. Now it's 2025. Okay, let's come back over here then. Now, why might you want to use Quantmod? Well, the answer is, basically, it's easier to use. It doesn't require any programming knowledge, because everything is driven by functions. You have to know zero code about it. Okay, so anyway, let's try chart series. Chart series should just be type C. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, log scale theme. Let's just try our first plot. Okay. Now I want you to notice this is not a data frame. This is an XTS object. Okay. So simply saying chart series is kind of your most basic plot, okay? We can simply say RT. Now this is interesting. It says chart series, okay? We're going to say okay? And we already got our first plot, closing price, right? With the volume down below, all right? So we can now take this same plot and do, let's take a look and see what options are for type. Okay. Here's a very important feature, okay? And that is you can specify chart series theme. Let's make the theme white, okay? Oh, hey, Peppy, welcome back, my friend. Hey, I was waiting for you. For your notification. Yeah, I originally wasn't planning on doing something today, but I decided I need some more therapy because I've had kind of a rough week, and so my programming is my live streams are becoming like therapy for me. It's a chance for me to talk at a screen. But thanks so much for stopping by, Peppy. Anyway, what we're doing, I had ChatGPT choose a random stock from the S&P 500 with a closing price of over 50, and it gave me Broadcom. Okay, and the only library we're using here is an older stock program called Quantmod. Exactly, yeah. So we're using an older package called Quantmod to do some basic stock analysis. Okay. The advantage of there's two main packages. There's Quantmod, which is the older one, and there's Tidyquant, which is the newest one, and it's part of the Tidyverse universe. The advantage to Quantmod, as you can see, it doesn't require any knowledge of programming. It's all function based. Get the data, call the chart series, the stock name. We're going to change the theme to white, and let's see what happens. To white, see what happens. There we go. Now we got a white chart. Okay, but what you have to understand is this over here. It's what's called TA. And this allows us to add functions to it. But the other thing we can do with this is, okay, we can come up here, for instance, and we can say, let's do a type, equals candlestick. Now you may have to put a C in it, but let's see. So now we got a candlestick, but the trouble is we don't want this much data. Okay, we're only interested in the last 3 months' data. Okay. Let me find my example. And that's what the subset does. The subset allows us to, because right now we're going all the way back to January 1st, but really only interested, say, in the most. Let's say we're only interested in. So here's where we change the theme, and it doesn't make any difference where you actually put these things here. Okay, put that there.
last 4 months. And now we got the last 4 months worth of candlestick plots. I mean, look how easy this is. We're working with the same data here, okay, the same thing. Now we've already got some candlestick, bars, lines, matchsticks. So now we come over here, okay, you copy this, and we change the plot type. And now we got matchsticks. Let's narrow this down. Let's narrow this down to 2 months, okay, so we can see the matchsticks a little better. And there you have it. This is volume down here, and this is matchsticks. Now, I don't really know what the match. So let's change one more thing. So what have you done? What have you been up to? Are you still celebrating? Are you still celebrating the holiday or something like that? Bars. Let's change this to bars. And here's, okay, yeah, so this is what's called a bar, and down here's the volume, okay. Now there are other options also, okay. Oh man, I hope you're feeling better tomorrow, but I hope you're feeling better now. Let's see. So now I come back up here. So what we've done is that we've created very quickly with single line functions. Okay. 3 very useful plots. We got a candlestick plot up here, right? Where is this? Okay, this is just a standard line. No, this is actually interesting enough. Oh, okay. It was okay. I didn't really do a whole lot. So let's put, as usual, I just stayed home. So the default plot is a candlestick plot, I believe. So let's do this. So now we got a line plot and a volume plot, okay? But you can do some kind of trick here. This allows us to add a technical indicator. So we come up here like this, for instance, and we should, for instance, be able to add say a moving average, okay? Because we should be able to say, I wonder if we can move this down to a new line. Let's try something here. So you can come down here and say, let's add, we can add a we could say add EMA with an N of 100, okay? So you put this in quotes, add EMA N equals, okay? Let's see if this works. We need an extra quote, don't we? So now, we just created a line plot with a moving average. All right? Is that pretty sweet or what? So again, we're building a we're building up a very simple system of stock analysis here, using nothing more than single line functions and add them together. Okay. But there's all kinds of add functions. You can add an MACD, you can add an RSI, you can add a series, and so forth. So let's come down here now. Okay, and let's just change this to, let's add an RSI. So now we have the closing prices with an RSI plot. And we could probably come over here if we really wanted to, and you know, change the color of some of the bands here or something like that. So let's come down here. And sometimes there's also separate plot calls. So let's change this. Let's add a MACD plot. So in like 24 minutes, we basically created the most popular stock charts out there, okay? MACD, okay? And here's our MACD plot, all right? Now sometimes you can come down here. Let's see, chart technical end. Create a new technical indicator. Oh, okay. Add TA. This adds a TA. We don't want to add a TA. We want to. So this kind of, okay, so we could come up here. So some of the plots have that one's interesting. Open, close. Hey, let's run some examples to see what happens. My question is, could we, for instance, you know, create the MACD plot as a standalone plot? No, we can't. How about monthly return? So what do you think about how easy it is for to get stock information using what if we get You know, this may require another package to get returned, but it'd be kind of fun if we can actually get this. So here's the returns. Interesting. Since the first of the year. You know, there's probably a way we can plot this. What happens if we send this to a okay. Then it's come down here like this. I wonder if this will work. Oh, look at this. We just plotted the returns. Oh man, sweet. Very nice. Okay. Let's get back up here then. Let's actually go back to, let's go back 1 year so we can look at a longer term return. So now we got the returns. Now my guess is, this says arithmetic, so there's probably more than one way. Arithmetic or log continuous. Now we come up here, okay. I wonder if we can make this plot type. Oh. Oh, look at this. Now we got monthly returns since 2024. As a bar plot. Now we can change this to log also, and I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm not quite under what log means in this context. So have you started your YouTube channel yet? And now we got the log returns. And the main point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So since over the last few months, let's do something different. Let's only go back. Let's go back 1 year. And we'll say 10 or 20. Let's just go back to Friday's date, okay? I don't know what it was, but so let's just go back 12 months. You know, and like I said, the point here is, these are all your standard type of plots, okay? These are your standard type of plots, okay? And we just created them with a few function calls, okay? So we come up here and say, let's do this to 3 months. All right, so you can see what's going on there. Subset 2 months. So basically what this means, red means the price closed down. Okay? So now we got the previous 12 months returns. Okay? And here's the log returns. What the heck? We might as well, while we're here, we might as well do weekly returns, right? You know what, let's do? Let's look at weekly returns. So here's our, now I'll point out again, because this is an older system, we're actually only using the base R functions to do the plots. And because it doesn't, in order to do it with say GGBR2, we'd have to convert the data to a data frame. So you can see even in the last 2 years, the weekly returns would look pretty good also. Let's look at quarterly returns. Now, I'm sure there's other tweaks we can do to like the, so here's our quarterly returns. Let's do this with arithmetic. I'm not sure what, I'm not sure how to read log returns, okay? No, no, no. That's not what we want, is it? We want quarterly. And type is arithmetic. And you can see, if you look at quarterly since 2024, they've had more positive returns than negative returns, right? Okay, so the third quarter, the first 3 quarters of the year, you can do something like this. You can start making stock analysis videos and you just say, hey, well, it looks to me, you know, like me, I know nothing that much about stocks, but that's all right. The beauty is stocks charts pretty much speak for themselves. You watch a couple of videos to explain certain plots to you. So, the first 3 quarters of this year have outperformed the 4 quarters of 2024. It's kind of interesting. Let me see something up here. We're still missing one plot, and that's a Bollinger Band plot, okay? Now, obviously, I'm not offering financial advice. This is strictly a technology demonstration. Do not use what you see here to make financial decisions. Okay? So we should be able to see. We should be able to add Bollinger Bands to our plot. And there they are. So let's just go with the default plot. Okay. And let's change this to and my dear friends, here is your Bollinger Band plot overlaid over top of of what looks like probably but let's do type equals. Let's just go because that's probably a candlestick plot. But let's just go to a straight line plot. Always watch for your commas. And now we got a Bollinger Band plot. Okay. By the way, I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow, but we'll see what happens, okay? Obviously, Broadcom has had a pretty doggone good two-year run, all right? And the basic theory is the center line is like a 20-day moving average, okay? The upper band and the red lines are plus and minus two standard deviations away from the actual, I think, from the average. And generally speaking, what you really want, you want the green line to stay above the moving average line, okay? And you also want it to kind of stay within the red line. But if it goes above the red line, back over here and up here, that indicates some pretty crazy activity, and it did. It kind of bounced way up here, and it came back down. Then it dropped the last couple of weeks. I don't know if I mentioned the subset command yet or not, but you can come over here, and you can enter a time frame. You can say, for instance, 3. Okay, and this way we should only see the last 3 months. So while the main data set has, this is pretty funky, isn't it? Let's try 6 months. That's pretty much an eye there. Okay, yeah. So this subset command and the TA command are really powerful. Really powerful. I mean, it's like, this could be last weeks, this can be last months, this can be last quarters, this can be last years, anything you want. Let's try some. Let's try last to 1 quarter. Let's try the last 2. Let's see if this does work. So even though the main call pulls in 2 years worth of data, we can use the you can use the subset function to narrow the data down. Now we got 2/4. All right? And you notice the big wide range we got here? Well, that's called volatility, okay? The price took a big, it went crazy up here, and then back down here. Now here's the other thing. We can reuse this code. We can come up here, put any stock symbol we want in here, okay? Let's look at Ford. Okay, now we got Ford. No, now we got Ford. All right. Ford went a little crazy on us here. Ford, by the way, had a very good quarterly earnings report, so everybody's going crazy about it. I mean, look at this green area here. Good grief, that's insane. But anyway. And all we're doing is changing the symbol, and we got a whole new set of plots, okay? I mean, now there's probably some way we could set a variable somehow at the top and then say ticker. We could probably say something like, I don't know. Let's say ticker the idea is to only change the variable. The idea is to only change the variable name in one spot, okay? And all we're doing is going in here and changing the name. Okay? So you can come in here and you can reuse the plot. Now we're getting into earnings. So you can see Ford is doing pretty good over the last 2 years. Okay. Wow, look at this. They had a rough year during the third quarter of 2025, but ever since the first quarter this year, the returns have increased. Wow, that's interesting. No wonder the stock market, no wonder the stock's going crazy, right? Look at this. And finally, we come up here for our Bollinger Band. There you have it, my friends. There is your stock analysis lesson for tonight. Once again, Pepe, to show you how easy it is to use Quantmod to do stock analysis. Now again, there's also TinyQuant. You could use TinyQuant and AI to write our code for you using TinyQuant. But this package here doesn't require any programming knowledge whatsoever. So anyway, Pepe, that's it for this Saturday evening. Be sure to. I'll probably do something tomorrow night also. But be sure to check out the my daily stock video, my blue chip stock report on Ford from early in the day. Again, Pepe, hey, thanks so much. I hope you're feeling better tomorrow, and we'll catch you on the next video.